Mark Sanchez. He called the Broncos' Week 1 win over the Titans. He's got the Seahawks at the Steelers coming up at 1 Eastern Sunday on Fox. Good to see you again. What's the biggest concern from Week 1? Either player or team or coach that you have?
Well, from our game specifically, 22nd, could be a full 6-2 and a quarter, 242. Okay. Let's see. Broncos game. Oof. Bo Nix struggled. He really did. And I don't think it's catastrophic. I don't think it's the end of the world for those guys, but he just didn't look as sharp as I thought everybody expected. And the defense bailed him out big time. I've been there. I know what that feels like. You know, after you go to the playoffs your rookie year, coming back that next year, expectations are just sky high. So we laid an egg. Our first game, my second year, got thumped by the Ravens. And it felt like the walls are closing in, sky's falling, everything's horrible, but at least they got the win. So I'd rather him learn those lessons with a W than have to go through all that film and digest all that with a loss. That would have been tough at home. That would have been really tough.
Are rookie quarterbacks still making the same mistakes, whether it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
I think so. I think, like in our game specifically, you know, Cam Ward, it's a back and forth game, defensive battle. And at one point, I want to say it was like 9-6 or 10-9 or something like that. And they get this turnover, a total gift on a muff punt. And he takes 2 sacks, knocks him out of field goal range. They punt and you lose the points. You lose the momentum. You had a chance to go, you know, to go up, take the lead for the first time in the game. And it's stuff like that. Like, I know from the booth, it's easy to say, and from here, it's easy to say. But if I was coaching those guys, it might be one of those situations where you grab them by the face mask and say, hey, we're inside the 30. We do not end this down or end this drive with anything less than 3 points. I don't care if you catch the ball and throw it in the stands 3 times. Doesn't matter. We need the points. You know what I mean? And if you can relate that to a young kid, because they're just in the moment, feeling the emotions, feeling it was interesting talking to Vance Joseph before the game, the defense coordinator for the Broncos. I think he's going to be a head coach, by the way, pretty soon again. But he just said, I don't want this kid to see the ball go in the hoop. I want to blur the screen with our speed. I want him to feel our rush. I want to bat balls at the line of scrimmage. I just don't want him to get comfortable. I want him to hold it and just create indecision for that long, and we'll do the rest. It's exactly what they did. And in a situation like that, all young quarterbacks, you screw up. You try and do too much. You try and get out of trouble, and pretty soon you lose 15 yards. Now we're out of field goal range. So that was a tough stretch.
What did you hear in the pocket when you were back to pass?
It's quiet.
But there's noise around you. But you're
There's
blocking
definitely
that
noise.
out.
Yeah, you don't. Oh, it's such a good question. You just get so used to the quiet. It's kind of like a dull roar over the top. The one thing I will say is what I learned kind of early on is if you're at home and sometimes you get rid of the ball and you throw it, it leaves your hand and you don't see the guy catch it because you get hit. So you're laying on your back staring at the ceiling or the sky. And if you're at home and you hear a big cheer, you can get up slow. If you're at home and you hear you're like, oh boy, I got to make a tackle. And then it flips on the road. You know, if you cut that ball loose and you're staring at the ceiling and the crowd goes nuts, you're like, oh, dude, I got to go make a tackle.
Have you broken down Aaron Rodgers' performance against the Jets yet?
Whoa, that was impressive. Well, one of the touchdowns, I mean, he threw 4 in the stats, right? But one of them was the little, jet sweep out of the gun where you just flip it to the guy.
Yeah.
So uh, he looked impressive, man. He had a little bounce in his step. The first touchdown, the roll to the right that he throws, it's essentially a naked. And I mean, that thing was a missile, man. He looked great. And is that just week one? Is that, full recovery from the Achilles? Is that added juice because it's the Jets and he wanted to embarrass them? Maybe a little everything. But I was thoroughly impressed. He looks good.
Yeah, I didn't know if he could make that signature roll right and zip it like he did throughout his career. I thought maybe he's more of a pocket passer, but feels like he came in this way, he's going out this way with, that mobility.
And I don't think he's quite as mobile, obviously, as he was, but he's mobile enough to do stuff like that. But like in the pocket, he was, Romo doesn't get enough credit for extending plays. Rodgers doesn't get enough credit for extending plays because you have guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and design quarterback runs. But these guys were like elite athletes at the quarterback position. And the way he could hit his back foot and kind of get that like low lean forward and then just go navigate the pocket and then step up and rifle some down the field. I mean, nobody can do what he does. And it's, the guy changed his full throwing motion, a few years into his career because his knee was bugging him. And then he started that like jump throw that Cam Ward and all these kids are doing. Everybody off platform, 2 feet in the air, launching the ball. You would never, ever teach a kid to do that. Ever. It's too hard. It takes too much coordination. It takes too much trunk rotation. It takes too much of the rest of your arm and everything being perfect as you release the ball. It's so hard to do it. And he does it with little effort, it seems.
But you have these younger quarterbacks now who they idolized Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, Matthew's like one of the best pocket passers, number one, but mechanics wise, he's only gotten better his whole career. And he came in solid, just nice ball carriage, great feet, can throw it off his back foot, has plenty of juice in his arm. And, the stuff to the left, like he takes the cheat step slightly to the right and drifts just to open enough so he never leaves anything to the left inside and then it goes the other way. Like he's one of the best mechanically and, as a competitor, arm strength, all that. He's got it all.
Yeah, it surprised me because it's almost like younger players look up to Paul George in the NBA. And I go, Paul George? And, like for a different generation, they looked up to Paul George. And then you get Caleb Williams and C.J. Stroud, and they're like, man, Matthew Stafford's the man. And I'm like,
he's incredible.
He takes a beating.
Well, you drop back that many times, every once in a while they're gonna get you. But how about my guy Caleb, man?
I don't know.
Oh,
you tell
tough.
me.
I mean,
first
he started
half or
off,
second half.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like he reverted to some of those bad habits, and the good plays aren't just good; they're incredible. They're top 10 highlight reel good. And then the bad ones, you're like, how do we miss that throw? How do we, what is it? What are we missing here? And, you saw his speed when he decided to actually run on one of them. Oh my God. He's way faster than you think.
But can you be objective when you're talking about him? Because, I know it's
because of USC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I got to call it how I see it. And
what concerns you then that you got the best offensive head coach, play caller. You got what you need. You got weapons. You got an offensive line that's improved. What's missing here?
A couple of those throws. You just got to hit a couple of those throws. I don't know if it's the front foot. So like if you're a right-handed quarterback, your front left toe, your left big toe, the ball's going to go right off that big toe. Wherever you point it, that's where the ball's going. So it's natural for right-handers on an in-breaking route from right to left, so like a slant route on the right-handed thrower's right side, breaking to the left, to leave the ball to the right, behind the guy, right? It's natural for the guy going the opposite direction to throw it in front of him. He was like all over the place on both. And, a couple of scenarios where guys were open. You saw DJ Moore, the one in the end zone to the left side. So that's kind of like the little red thing on your mailbox.
Yeah, the
when
flag.
it's up,
Yeah.
you check the mail. Yeah, the little flag.
Yeah.
That's like DJ just broke off his route and threw his hand up because nobody was there. That's like if you're a veteran receiver and you're really Randy Moss used to do it all the time. He'd just throw his hand up and then, it's a go ball. All right, red flag, check the mail and launch it. And it landed 10 yards out of bounds. And you're like, oh man, like those ones, I don't know if it's just the excitement but sometimes the ball just jumps out of his hand and it's, completely out of whack. And then the other ones that are, they got to be perfect. I mean, they're money, and it's just the inconsistency right now. And so hopefully it's, first game jitters or something. And they correct it because, I'm obviously rooting for him, but yeah, it wasn't his best game. It was inconsistent. He started hot and then it looked like a little bit like last year.
He's one of those quarterbacks or players that I would call the red zone player. When you're watching the red zone, they show you highlights. But if you watch the totality of a game, that's when you realize that
right.
He might have had 4, great moments. It was all the other ones. So there's certain players. Kyler Murray would be like that. I'm like, damn, he's having a great game. And then all of a sudden you look at his stats and you go, oh, well, he only had 3 other completions there. Certain guys like that.
Sure.
Justin Herbert was on the show prior to the start of the season. And I said, why don't you do kind of what Josh Allen's doing? Why don't you put pressure on defenses by running? Because we've seen him run in college. The Rose Bowl, He was wonderful. And then we started to see, now I don't know if this is going to be something that's in the playbook, but he did use his legs in that game against the Chiefs a lot more than I think we've seen before.
Oh, he looked great. He, I think he's not going to do the run stuff. Sorry, my dog's going nuts. All right. He's not going to do as many designed runs, but I think when he can extend plays and then you see him get outside when Chris Jones took the inside path and he feels that open edge, the dude's gone. He's got a long stride length. I mean, he looks like a gazelle when he runs and he covers a ton of ground and it looks effortless. It's just, get down, get out of bounds, that kind of deal. But he's better than people give him credit for. I really do think that. And I don't think he's completely realized his potential. I don't think he's played the way that game the other night. They lose that the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. Hands
down. No doubt about it. And it looked like they were going to lose again. It's like, oh man, they were close, but here we go. This is kind of what we're expecting. And he completely flipped the script and just owned it. And I really think he's one of those special players that's just waiting for that opportunity. And he hit the big one. They got 3 division games out of the blocks here. They got the Raiders on Monday night coming up. And then I want to say I think the Broncos after that.
Yeah.
So that's a grueling schedule. The AFC West is legit. And all those games are a street fight. Everybody wants to run the ball. Harbaugh, Carroll, the Chiefs want to run the ball. Everybody. And it's that's gonna be a good division. Whoever comes out of there might make a little noise.
But when did we get away from the run that now we're coming back to the run?
I think I don't know. It feels like the last 5 seasons it's turned into a little bit like 7-on-7, and you got to throw it 50 times. I feel like the way defenses have really shifted, other than a couple of coordinators in the league, a lot of teams are adopting that kind of blanket umbrella coverage bend don't break mentality. We'll throw a couple pressures here and there, some simulated pressures, but we're not going to get caught. And we're going to force you to go 15 plays, convert 3 third and 5s, third and 9s, third and 12s. Like, we're going to make you do that. And I guarantee you're going to screw it up before our defense does. You're going to give us a cheap one. Somebody's going to fumble. You're going to get a holding. You're either punting or we're taking the ball away. So I feel like once that started to happen and teams started to back up a little bit, it's a natural reaction to just turn around, hand the ball to somebody and let them go, pound the defense, force them to bring that guy in the box, and then we'll get creative.
Yeah, I thought at one point we're going to be a run-first team because defenses were all quick. Guys were smaller. And I thought, man, why don't you go, have a counterattack and just say, we're just going to ram it down your throat because you're not going to get bigger in the off. We're going to be built to beat you guys because everybody was, but the Bengals went all air attack here.
I remember going to call a game in Cincy probably 2 years ago, but I mean, they throw it more than anybody. And I asked Zach Taylor, I said, hey, are those O-linemen ever going to just start a mutiny? And he goes, why? I said, because they got a pass set all game, man. I said, are you ever going to hand the rock? What's the deal? And he's like, come on, we got to give it to our best player. Number 9, the offense runs through number 9. And I said, hey, Joe Mixon's pretty good too.
Yeah,
he can run it. So it was funny just messing with him a little bit.
Got to have that change up, man. Mark will be calling the Seahawks at the Steelers, 1 Eastern. That'll be on Fox. Great to talk to you again. Hope the family's good.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mark Sanchez, he won his first 3 games his rookie year with the Jets, and then he lost his next 3.